Keeping up the pace. This week on the Football League show, Queen's Park Rangers look to make it 4 wins out of 4 when they face Derby. Searching for a first win, promotion hopefuls Leicester and Reading play each other as they aim to get their seasons up and running. And a battle of the Blues. Recently relegated Portsmouth take on promotion chasers Cardiff City. We start the show with the team that's leading the way right now in the Championship. Queen's Park Rangers looking for a 4th straight win when they travel to Nigel Clough's Derby County. Commentary comes from Martin Fisher.
Tarapt. Savage can't stop him, and Tarapt glides through. What a good run! Fine save by Bywater. And there were Derby bodies diving in to prevent the rebound from finding the back of their net. Chance here for Queen's Park Rangers, but the flag is up. Flag was up swiftly. He's ahead of Barker there, isn't he? Green has it again. Good running off the ball by Moxey. Commons is in there. Commons must be! Derby take the lead! Calm finish from Chris Commons. Wonderfully fashioned goal. Moxey and Green at the hub of it. Chris Commons, who specialises in scoring crackers from 25 yards, taps this one in from 5 yards. Martin's first touch. Lovely turn by Shifka. And this is Bailey. Bailey! Oh, what a goal! James Bailey, his first ever goal in his career. Smiles all around, but still the manager tries to stay relaxed. Credit Thomas Shifka for his involvement, and when he shoves it back here for Bailey, it's a calm finish. Curls it beyond Paddy Kenny, and the Championship League leaders, 100%ers before today, are 2 down. This is Shifka. Sifka for Derby. It's a lovely dribble, it's opening up for him. Bailey's up in support again. Bailey's still there! And it took a deflection to take it behind. Sifka with the approach work. First effort was a bit embarrassing, the second wasn't. And but for the deflection, Paddy Kenny would have been tested again. Clark forward to Ajimang. Up against Barker here, taking him on for pace. Barker forcing him wide, but Ajimang gets one back. It's a smart finish, just nudges it beyond Bywater. Whistles all around from the Derby faithful. All eyes on the man in the middle, Mark Hayford. Play on we go. Leacock can't clear. Roberts can't get it away. QPR are in here, and they've levelled! Jamie Mackey retains Queen's Park Rangers' unbeaten record. Delight for Queen's Park Rangers, utter dejection for Derby County. Who'd have thought it? And he said 4 minutes wasn't enough.
When you put it in context, I thought it was a magnificent effort by the players. For the ones we're throwing a 17-year-old on at the end, you know, they're throwing experienced Championship strikers on. And just ran out of options a little bit and ran out of steam, a couple of players, but I think it bodes very well for the future, the sort of performances we saw.
The game has changed so much now. I think you've got to try and win every game, and when you're down, to hell with it. I even thought about shoving Paddy up at the last kick of the match. He pulled a great save off at 2-1. You know, great save. That's what teamwork's about, because Bradley put us in the car with the first goal. He knows he should have cleared that up the line. But it's early days, we're learning, and we've got 7 new players. It's a lot of new players, so I'm pleased.
The arrival of Craig Bellamy at Cardiff has brought renewed optimism for the club from South Wales. The same can't be said of Portsmouth, who are still in administration and could only name 4 substitutes for this match. Bellamy secured hero status after an absolute belter on his debut against Doncaster last weekend, but that proves he is human. Ultimately, Portsmouth were architects of their own downfall in this match. It started when Mark Wilson was caught in possession and ended with Hayden Mullin's ugly finish past his own keeper. Kind of sums up life at Fratton Park right now. Steve Cotterell's side have scored just 1 league goal so far this season. That tally could have been doubled as the ball sat up perfectly for David Nugent. Outstanding reflexes from David Marshall as Pompey cursed their luck. Early in the second half, slack Portsmouth defending would prove their undoing once again. Bellamy applying the pressure. Just what was said between Jamie Ashdown and Ibrahim Sonko? Not much, apparently, and Jay Bothroyd profited. The 2000th league goal Portsmouth have let in at home. They're winless in the Championship. Cardiff still unbeaten.
I thought the supporters were magnificent. I don't know what there was, 3,500. And they demand that from us now, so we haven't disappointed them today.
It's been a patchy August for Brendan Rodgers and Swansea, but they continued their perfect start to their home campaign by ending Burnley's unbeaten run. Rodgers had been both youth and reserve team manager at Chelsea, where he worked with Scott Sinclair, among others. £500,000 saw the two reunited this summer, and Sinclair made it 2 goals in as many games, capitalising on superb work by Alan Tate. Darren Prattley's also netted a couple of goals already for a club looking much more potent this season than last, and was unlucky not to double the lead before half-time. Burnley had picked up 7 points in their opening 3 matches and should have been level soon after. Chris Iwelumo, the guilty party. The referee was busier than the goalkeepers in the second half. Prattley sent off when this challenge on Tyrone Mears brought a second yellow card. But maybe that challenge robbed Mears of his sense of timing, because he himself was off moments later after a reckless tackle on Nathan Dyer. Swansea held on for a second successive win. Burnley beaten for the first time this season.
When you don't take the chances that we had, we created many opportunities and didn't score. Then obviously towards the end, you have to dig deep and show that resilience as a group, and I felt we'd done that really well.
It had everything today, there's no question about it. It had good football today, drama. It had all the ingredients of what this Championship's about.
Eddie Boothroyd's Coventry travelled to the Den for the first time in 5 years, hoping to extend their unbeaten start to the season. Not the easiest place to do it. Millwall haven't lost at home since November. Last season's League One playoff winners have enjoyed a decent start to their campaign. They obviously have confidence playing at home, defeating Hull and Middlesbrough this month. That confidence shown by Steve Morrison's superb work down the left, the unfortunate Martin Craney getting OG next to his name. Coventry came back from 2 down at Watford to claim a point a fortnight ago, and they were level here on the hour mark. Aaron Gunnarsson with too much pace for Darren Ward. David Ford didn't prove much of an obstacle either. But this game was decided by a crazy 7-minute spell in which Coventry self-destructed. Carl Baker was surprised enough his trip on Scott Barron merited a free kick. He'd already seen yellow. That was the end of his afternoon. Not sure he agreed. Soon afterwards, the Coventry defence were caught out by a routine long ball. Liam Trotter not at all bothered by the onrushing Ian Turner, it seems, and he produced the perfect lob. 4 minutes later, the points were wrapped up when James McPake was a bit too eager to get to the ball and clumsily hauled down Morrison in the process. The Welsh international made no mistake from 12 yards out as the Lions maintained their impressive record at the Den and inflicted Coventry's first league defeat of the season.
Last season, Ipswich endured their worst ever start to a campaign. 12 months on, the contrasts are stark. They've already won 4 away games in League and Cup and brought that form back to Suffolk for the visit of Bristol City. Grant Leadbitter's invented free kick, one of 3 occasions in which Ipswich hit the frame of David James's goal, which led a charmed life all day. John Stead had left Portman Road during the week. How ironic that his Robins debut was back at Ipswich, but this was as close as he came to providing an instant reminder of his attributes. And City's luck finally ran out when Liam Fontaine and David James conspired to hand Thomas Priskin the opening goal, his first at Portman Road more than a year after joining the club. Jason Scotland has arrived as Stead's replacement. It took him 29 games to score his first goal in the league for Wigan. Just 74 minutes to do it for Ipswich, whose impressive start continues.
A defeat for Nottingham Forest against Norwich would consign the club to their worst start to a season in half a century. Still looking for their first win, last season's playoff semi-finalists were on the back foot early on at the City Ground. Chris Martin showing Calvin Wilson the meaning of the phrase "to be done for pace," but he couldn't quite make the most of his opportunity. Another chance presented itself from a dead ball situation, but once again Lee Camp's left-hand post came to his rescue. Having gone so close through Chris Martin, it was City's other Martin, Russell, who gave Forest the initiative. A stray arm, Paul Anderson went flying, almost literally, but no doubt in the mind of the referee as he pointed to the spot. Canaries keeper John Ruddy wasn't too far away from Dexter Blackstock's penalty, but not close enough. The lead lasted just 7 minutes though. New signing Andy Croft scored on his debut and he claimed his second for Norwich just before half-time. Nice improvisation with the finish there. The teams rather cancelled each other out in the second half. Grant Holt did have a great chance to put one over his former club, but Camp's outstretched left boot put paid to that and secure a third successive 1-1 draw for Forest.
Still to come, Leicester and Reading look for their first championship win. And a cracker from League One, where Bournemouth take on Notts County.